get some golden nuggets. Thank you very much, Raul and Sil.
Thank you. So, you know what I think we should do today before we start talking about fear? I think we should talk about any wins that you've had, anything good that's happened, anything you're happy about, and no win is too small to celebrate. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing verbally, would you please put it in the chat? And does anybody want to go first before I usually go back and have to ask one of my colleagues? So does anyone want to go first? Willing to share just one win you've had? Okay, thank you, Inger. So tell us about a win you've had.
I got a really good testimonial from my processing.
Oh,
so that was this good.
Oh, great. Great job.
Thank you.
This is a woman that I didn't think she could process. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I love it. I always knew you could process. So, okay, thank you. Tracy.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I would like to just express that I've had so many wins in co-processing with students, including Inger this morning. We spent a lot of time together, and I'm just so happy to have community and a place to come where it feels like home and where it helps me get my life back. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. I am so grateful to know that because we are constantly trying to create that. So thank you. What a win. Okay, and Stella just joined, so let me catch Stella up on what we're doing. So we are just starting off this call. Instead of talking about fear, we're just sharing one win that you've had, no matter how little or how big. We just want to know if you're willing to share a win. If you don't want to verbally talk, then type it in the chat box. And I think, Camilo, actually, I can see this. I can't believe it. This is a huge win. I'll tell you later. So doing the Clean Slate workshop was a win from David. Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
And I think Al wants to share a win as well.
Excellent. Al, tell us about your win.
That's correct. Well, it has to do with the hurricane. It hit Louisiana pretty hard, particularly Lake Charles, and I have family over there, and ex and some kids and grandkids and stuff like that. And that night when it was coming through, I was watching it on the radar, and I was considering the wind and all that. I was really, I'd have to say, more worried than I'd ever been about this kind of situation. But they all came through it okay. Kathy had some minor damage to her house, and things seem to be working out reasonably well for them, considering Lake Charles was hit very hard. And that's definitely a win for me, and it's also something I'm grateful for, or appreciative of, however you want to put it. But yeah, that's it.
Wow, I think that's a big win. Thank you. Okay, Stella, pressure's on now. Is there anything you want to share? A little win, a big win.
Big win. Yeah, it could be a little win, but it is. I used to be on LinkedIn when social media just started, but then I moved away and I didn't understand social media a lot. So I withdrew from all of it, then slowly came back to Facebook. But then I realized that I wanted to communicate in a different way, but somehow I stayed with Facebook until recently. I then heard from someone who made a conscious decision of moving to LinkedIn after feeling overwhelmed on Facebook, and he has progressed his business. And then I thought, all right, I better go and start monitoring what happens on LinkedIn. And yes, so I've started posting on LinkedIn and yeah, making comments. And I feel like, yeah, seems like home being on LinkedIn. And yeah, so that's the win, feeling like repositioning myself and feeling comfortable where I am today. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, fantastic. You had to confront a lot of learning, it sounds like. Or, yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Raul. I want to know, what is your win?
Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty good win today. Just processing my mom. I mean, it's not a small issue, but she had a conference this morning, so I just woke up early and just help her process her, just to be in a great space. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty special just to have the opportunity to process your mom. But not only that, I mean, the depth that we were processing and the things that we were processing. I mean, it's been a long win, or a long progress, since she got started and I got started. So yeah, that was pretty special. That was a great win.
Oh, that's a huge win. Wow. No small feat processing your mom, in my opinion. That's and I mean, you know, because things come up. But also a lot of wins in that as well, being able to do what you do by processing your mom. So just a lot of special, just a very special process. So fantastic. Thank you. So for those of you who just joined, instead of talking about fear, we are talking about any win that you have you'd like to share, no matter how small. We want to hear. If you don't want to verbally talk, then type it in the chat box. But everybody has shared a win, except for me and Camilo. Camilo, do you have a win over there you want to share?
Yes, for sure. Like being able to be in this webinar and listening for all your wins. I see that more people is joining, so I'm very happy about that. And also many have been in our courses too, so that's amazing. Thanks.
Fantastic. Woohoo! Okay, before we start on fear, let me open it up to Queen, Kirst, and Marie. Anybody have a win you want to share? Open up your mic, please. If not, we are going to go in and talk about fear. Marie, yes.
Of course. Well, I'm just going to say that I'm in the laundry house, so it sounds a little bit strange. But I had this session with Jeff today, as always on Thursdays. And I think I cracked one of my toughest patterns ever. So I feel newborn. I don't have words for it, but I cracked the code that was, I haven't felt this free, this happy, and this alive for a very, very long time.
Oh, wow.
So I want to share that win. Yes.
Thank you. Beautiful. Okay, Queen and Kirst, if you'd like to share something. Oh, Queen shared something. My win is being able to join this call tonight is a big win for me. Ah, thank you. That's a win for us too. Woo. Okay, Kirst, anything you want to add? If not, okay, we'll pick it up later. So let's talk about fear. So how many of you read the chapter? Raise your hand. It's okay if you didn't. Using fear as an asset. Okay, good. So I loved Alan's story in here. He gives a really great point about how he handled his fear and how you can take the same method that he did and apply it in your life if you run into something you're afraid of. And so basically, when he's given the example about how he realized found out he had a huge fear of people, terrified of them, and then when he wanted to start speaking, he just got honest. and he told the audience what he was feeling, and that he was, you know, basically nervous or scared or whatever. And then by being honest, the whole audience was able to use their empathy and just really connect to him and allow him to feel whatever he was feeling. And he just kind of took off from there. So one of the things that happened for me is I was terrified of public speaking. And I've shared this story before. I got the opportunity to speak to 200 people with Kim Kiyosaki, and I can't tell you how scared I was. I mean, I used to throw up when I would go speak on stage. I'd just really get sick. And so, but I promised myself I wouldn't say no. So I kind of ran the same process that Alan ran. I just asked myself, what am I afraid? You know, if I get up on that stage, what am I afraid will happen? What's the biggest thing that I'm fearing right now? And it's funny because I was afraid somebody in the audience would ask me something that I did not know how to answer. And so once I identified it, that got it a lot smaller because I didn't even know, I just was swallowed up in it. And then I was like, okay, Sil, how could you handle that? If somebody asked you something that you don't know how to answer, because I was afraid to let them know that I didn't know the answer. So I was afraid to look like I didn't know, right? That was my big fear. So I thought, well, I'll just tell them I don't have the answer. I don't know the answer to that. And that once we take a break, if you'll come meet me over at my table, I'll take your name and email address if I hadn't found the answer. And when I get back to my office, I'll research it and I'll get back to you. And so it was a life-changing moment because I was able to get up on that stage and I was able to talk as myself. And then I didn't fear anybody asking a question because I already knew that if they asked me something I didn't know, I was going to be honest and tell them, I don't know the answer to that. Or ask one of my colleagues, do you know, Kim, do you know the answer to that? And just give myself basically permission to not know and let the audience know that I didn't know. So that's one way that you can handle fear, which is being honest and not having to hide and just being yourself and then making a plan to get the answer and getting back to the people. And so that blew a lot of fear for me when it came to speaking on stage and getting to share, because there's a lot of things I did know that would help a lot of people. So Raul, what would you like to add to this chapter?
Yeah, no, I think that was a great golden nugget that you just gave, Sil. I think that's powerful, especially when trying to face fear. It's really easy to get into like generalized items, but then to really, narrow that thing down, into what's really the specific fear. I mean, I think that's really important, because the other way around, you just go around and around and around. It just gets bigger. So I think that's really powerful.
Well, and to add what you said, one of the things that happens when you hit fear, so this is one of the manifestations, okay? When you hit like a big area of fear, or just fear that is a lot bigger than you won't be able to think in the area. That's the thing. You won't be able to think. I don't know if you've ever experienced being like a deer in headlights. Just kind of like stuck there. So you can often feel quite scattered, if you will. Sometimes you get frozen. It's quite paralyzing. So see, I knew that if I got on that stage and I couldn't isolate what was I afraid of, if I ran into that thing that I was afraid of, that I didn't want to be like a deer in headlights. So when you start experiencing those manifestations, you probably have run into some fear. I hate that feeling of not being able to think. And so some of the indicators, and this is taught on the Vital Fundamentals of Life Processing course that we teach, some of the indicators to know when you've run into fear is if you start feeling success reluctance. Oh, I would really love to share and help a lot of people, oh, I got this chance to talk or share, but I don't know if I can do it. There's a lot of reluctance there, right? Well, guess what's behind that success reluctance? An area of fear. Prosperity reluctance. You know, I've seen this come up. I've asked some people before. So, you know, they just want to be in the green zone. And, you know, they take some courses, they feel great. And then I've asked them like, okay, so what's likely to happen if you were to be able to operate in the zone? Or really be big and powerful and operate in the zone. And sometimes, guess what's come up? They're afraid that they'll go off and do something to burn their reputation. Where's that come from? Well, just look around. Look in the news. What do we know? Pro footballers, rock stars, they get up and they operate in the zone, and sometimes they don't know how to handle that success. So, you know, we observe that. So then that sometimes we get afraid to really be big and powerful. So we have some reluctances around having a lot of prosperity, power, same thing. Raul, anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I mean, just by listening to you, Seal, going through those indicators, I mean, one of those fears, it's all, and that's why it's really important to really identify which one is it, because just saying I'm in fear is you need to go deeper. Like when I was listening to you, I've seen that in myself, and I've seen that in other people, like the fear of being out of control. That's
yes,
especially if you're getting power,
yeah.
big, you know, and famous and all that. So yeah, that's what came to you just by listening to that.
I'm glad you brought that up. And and probably everybody on this call knows that that is a common fear, the fear of being out of control. If you think about it, most people do not want to experience being out of control, right? You want to be in control of your own space, of your own time. So that's pretty common. So that's a great one. Thank you. Another area of fear, another way to know when you've run into some fear is if you're not able to handle your time, your space, your energy, right? Yeah, those are other indicators. If you're not able to handle your space and your time and your energy. Some common manifestations of fear is fear of making a fool of oneself. And that's what Alan was afraid of, a fear of making a fool of himself, right? It's kind of similar to mine, but mine's still a little bit different. I did not want to look like somebody that didn't know. Why? Because I don't like looking stupid. So there was a lot wrapped up into that, right? A lot of people, I see this in processing all the time. I'm sure, I mean, I've had this, fear of failure. That's very, very common. People have a fear of failure. So they'll start to reach out and start to go for the big game and the big thing that they want. And then that fear of failure comes up. Then guess what happens? They get paralyzed and they don't go for it. So, Raul, anything else you want to add connected to this chapter? And I would love to hear from the audience.
Yes, I think so. Again, I mean, this is just full of golden nuggets. Just knowing those indicators or those manifestations of fear, that's really powerful. And especially because it's really easy also to say, no, I'm not, I'm not afraid, it's not a big deal, right? So, okay, just check those indicators. Like, for example, there's subtle ones. Like that lateness or being late, that's subtle. But if you're, being late here and being late there, I mean, that's a manifestation that there's an area of fear triggered there. So then it could help you to really spot specifically, what kind of fear got triggered. And then if you found that, then you just can handle it and keep moving, right?
Yeah. So there's another one that caught my attention on the list that I wanted to share with you guys. It's sneaky. And I've seen this come up in session. I've seen it come up in conversations. Has anybody on here ever felt like they didn't really want to be known? Yeah, that's an area of fear. Think about how you pull in. You know, you pull in, you get smaller. Oh, I don't really want to be known, you know, so that's just another manifestation of fear. So, okay, so the number one golden nugget that I gave you in the beginning was, what did Alan do? Anybody know? What did he do? Anybody have an idea when you're reading this chapter? Yes, Tracy, what did he do?
The first thing was that he was honest.
Yeah, he was honest. He just told the people how he felt. You got it. Thank you. Woohoo! So I'm going to open it up to the audience. I want to read this. I want to read this. Okay, so this is from Kirst. So sorry, this is from Inger. And to Sweden, I was there. Oh, okay, good. Oh, Tracy, okay, so Seal came to Canada with Kim Kiyosaki. I was there. Yes, you were there. Thank you. That was a long time ago. And then Inger and to Sweden. Yes, I was there. I know you guys because of that, because I got up and I talked. So curse to everyone. My win is having successfully moved into our new house last week and being all set up for this week to just get back into routine. Wow, congratulations, Curse. In the past, we would still be dealing with so much chaos. So it's a huge win. Wow, yes. Congratulations on your new house. And then Emily, my win is dealing more maturely with my ex during our divorce and not getting consumed with negativity. Woo, that's a win. That's a huge win. That's awesome. So now, and Emily Cox, it's so great to hear. Was that from Emily? Now that was from Emily. Thank you. Emily, it's great to see you on the call today. So anybody else have anything you want to share? Any comments about the chapter today or any questions you would like to know? Because I might be able to answer them. Haha. Maybe, and it's okay if I can't. Anybody have any comments? Anything you want to share? Yes, Marie.
I was just thinking, I don't remember exactly the chapter, but isn't this the chapter also where he starts to make mistakes? Is that the same chapter where he is deliberately doing mistakes? So he's being a failure and he's playing with that. Is that the same chapter?
Help me out here.
Yeah, it's actually the chapter before. So this one is chapter 11. And then the one you're referring to is chapter 10, but they're connected.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking also, to dare to be a fool. Yeah, that also relieves a lot of fear.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have that perception that you have to be cool and okay all the time, so you can let go of yourself and make mistakes.
Yeah.
So that kind of caught me when I was reading the book quite a lot.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was going to say, I reread the chapter today and I didn't remember that. So I was doubting like, oh, did I skim over this? But yeah, that's a great point because he did it. Yeah, it was the week before. That's a great idea. So to handle that and to blow not being able to fail. So anybody else have a comment you'd like to share? Anybody have a question? Or has anybody's fears come up that you want to just share with the group? Oh, yes, Inger.
I just realized that I've been in sales almost all my life. And I wonder why I haven't been making those calls for getting ads, etc., for my book. And I think that's kind of success reluctance.
Hey, that is. So I would ask you, so is there an area of fear?
Probably, yeah. I don't know what though, because I'm never ever, I'm not afraid to call people. I'm not afraid to look people up. But here I'm sitting and not doing it. Yeah.
So from a processing point of view, it'd be interesting to write down describe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, see if you can't pinpoint exactly, you know, what it is. Just what kind of fear it is. You know, when I went through mine, it took me a little bit to unwind it.
Dig
But,
deeper.
yeah, I just kept looking. So what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? What am I afraid is going to happen? You know, what am I afraid is going to happen? And then finally I nailed it. And then I was like, oh, and I don't want to look stupid. Oh, I don't want them to think I don't know. Oh, so then, and once I got it, I'm like, okay, so how could I handle that? And then I was able to go into, well, then I got on the stage. So, okay.
Yep.
That'd be a great process for any of you to use.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing and thank you for your honesty. So David, I'm afraid of wins. Everything I thought of as a win when I was a kid, got me in trouble. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. I could see that. A lot of negative processing around. Sounds like there's not sounds like that. That's negative processing. Raul, anything you would share on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that that's one of the key areas. I mean, there's lots of things to handle, but Alan was really, I mean, he always encouraged us and everyone to really own and to really celebrate our wins. I mean, starting from ourselves, I mean, that's such a positive process. So, I mean, just the fact that you're here, David, and sharing with us, I mean, that's a good process. But I would say just keep owning them and keep acknowledging them. I think that's a pretty powerful and simple process.
Yeah. Let yourself, you know, the charge is on the positive. And so, David, what I would encourage you to do is let yourself experience those wins. Sometimes people cry when they get, somebody said, well, why are they crying? It's a positive. And I'm like, because there's a lot of charge on the positive charge. People usually cry when they get into the positive. It's normal. It's not a bad thing. So let yourself experience the wins. You know, yeah. Okay, so who's next? So Raul, would you please read what Tracy has written?
Yes, and I was thinking, you see, David, you're already winning just by being here, just by being connected to the call, because Tracy answered, she said, in our family, we were taught not to celebrate wins and be boastful or rub it in. Hey, David, maybe we should co-process that. And then David says like, absolutely. So there you go. So that's really the best way to handle that, having someone, you know, that can duplicate that and is willing to positively process you. So yeah, that's a great win. Congratulations, Tracy, also for sharing that.
Yeah, and Tracy, I would add to you, I've seen this among all the people I process. I know I was raised this way. My dad used to tell my mom was a beautiful seamstress. She would dress us up and say, go downstairs and let your dad see. You know, she was really proud of what she made. So we would go model it. And he wouldn't hardly say anything, just grunt a little bit, if that. And if she bragged on us, he always said, you're going to give them the big head. Well, I can guarantee you we didn't get the big head, that's for sure, because he never bragged on us. We had the small head. So, but that was but that I see that was a lot of viewpoints back then, that if you brag on someone, if you validate on someone and acknowledge someone, that they'll get conceited or the big head. So they just do it at all. So they ran the opposite process. So, you know, most of us grew up, and I say that, these are Alan's words. Most of us grew up, he's born in 35, not getting a lot of acknowledgement, not getting a lot of praise, not getting a lot of validation. And so when you do the gratitude process, for those of you who've had it, that's why on that question, 10 things that you are grateful for, that it's okay if you kind of toot your own horn like Little Boy Blue and praise yourself about some things you're happy about, because it reverses that process. And he says that in a lecture, that it's okay for you to acknowledge you It's a very positive process. So, and that the thing about that is, you know, when you can acknowledge you, it puts you in a very powerful position, because it doesn't make you dependent on or cause you to go up and down, regardless if somebody praises you or not. You're very stable, and you know your worth, and you know what you've done, and you know your worth, and you can validate yourself. And if somebody else acknowledges it, great. And if they don't, that's okay too, because you know. So I went a minute over. So, hey guys, this has been a great call. I love the participation. I love your wins. I think this is the first time we've had everybody on the call share wins. Isn't it, Raul?
I think so. I mean, that was great.
Yeah, I think I was forcing you guys to. But with that, thank you all for working with us. Raul, final last words.
Yep. Yeah, if I might, Sil, I would like just to remind everyone and actually invite you. We're gonna be doing the Clean Slate course.
Yes,
we did the
yes.
Clean Slate course last week, and we're gonna teach the Clean Slate course online again on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of September. So that's a 3-day course. Each day is 2 hours and a half. And just relating the power of the Clean Slate with these chapters that we have read, like if you remember chapter 10 is exactly the chapter that Marie was describing. And then Alan was trying to be a friend, right? Or being more friendly. But then if you remember, with all those experiences from the past, you know, the Welsh people and then the Australians and all those precepts like, I hate people. So that's called a dirty slate, you know? So if someone wants to be friendly, but it has, you know, the person has all those experiences, I mean, you better clean that. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to achieve in life. It doesn't matter the things that you're trying to get better, but step 0, it's to really clean the slate and really create an optimum mindset. So it's pretty simple course, but pretty powerful course, in my opinion. The biggest value in a course like that is exactly that you're connecting to other people, and then you can co-process. So there's a lot of golden nuggets in there. You're gonna learn directly from Alan. You're gonna have, you know, a list of the 10 most powerful words in the English language. So there's a lot of material. So it's just an invitation. And Camilo has shared the link in the chat. And actually we have a special. If you want to be part of that course, if you sign before Sunday, you actually get in 2 for the price of 1. So that would be it, Sil. I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to share around that, Sil?
I love 2 for 1. It's my favorite.
Oh,
It's my favorite. It's my favorite on sale. When I'm looking at stuff on sale, 2 for 1. I love it. So just that the course last weekend, I know some of you on this call was on that course last weekend when they taught it. How many people did you have, Raul?
I think we had 24 people on
Oh my
course.
God, that's so
Yes.
great. So if you know of anyone, 2 for 1. So 2 people get in for 197. You get to get the process. You'll have a process to take with you. Alan says anybody that does the Clean Slate process, you can use that process once a week for a whole entire year, and your intelligence will go up, just soar, okay, which I love. And the Clean Slate process is just a phenomenal process. You can use it on anything. The lecture that he did around Clean Slate and your viewpoints and your precepts is phenomenal. And so I would just encourage you, please share it with your friends and pass it along to anyone that you think might like it.
Yeah, and if I can answer just one question from David. Yes, David, we have a discount for retake. So any of our courses, you know, usually when you're retaking, they really have a really great discount. Like in this case, if you want to retake the Clean Slate course, it's only $47. You know, if you want to just retake it or review it, which is, you know, awesome idea. So that's the amount, 47 to retake.
Okay, great. Any other questions or anything else anyone wants to say?
I'm just going to say, if you haven't done the Clean Slate, do it.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, but
Thank you.
just do it. I mean, it's a sanity process.
It is a sanity.
I agree. I agree with Marie. Just do it if you haven't done it.
Just do it.
Thank
Don't
you.
debate with yourself, just do it.
Yeah, thank you. And I just say thank you so much for spending your time with us and sharing your beautiful, beautiful presence. It's great to see your face. Go have a green zone rest of your day, evening, night, and see you next week. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.